authorpreneur series here on YouTube, and this video is all about how I market, promote my books. So one thing I really pride myself on is the fact that I am not on Amazon, I'm not on Amazon, I'm not on Barnes and Noble, I'm not on any other platform. The only way that you can buy my books online is when you go to jadaandjadenseries.com, or if you see me in person and I'm at an event, or if you basically the only person that sells my books, the only way that you can buy my books is through me, and that is something that I highly promote. It is something that I've just been very passionate about, of just selling my books through myself, being 100% owner, being, you know, this is my hard work, this is my project, and I'm gonna receive 100% of the profits for it. And that's just something that I'm very passionate about. Now, I'm not saying that that method is not for people. There is nothing wrong, I will say this a million times, there's nothing wrong with having your book on Amazon. There are a lot of people that you know, get lots of Amazon sales, but for me personally, for the direction that I'm trying to go in, I just don't see Amazon making that happen. So that is why I choose not to sell on Amazon, and I'm going to tell you guys tips on how you can promote and market your book. Now, the one thing I also want to say before I get into the video is that I am a self-publishing consultant. So that means that a lot of you guys have been emailing me, commenting on this video, DMing me on Instagram, asking me questions. How did I self-publish? How did I find an illustrator? How did I find an editor? All of these questions. But I will not be answering those questions unless you book a consultation with me. People have paid for consultations with me, and you get 1 hour. It's a one-on-one, and I answer literally every single question in detail. Everyone that has booked a consultation with me has received so much information, and they are moving forward. I've had clients that literally have their books in front of them. I was just talking to one of my clients. I cannot wait to promote her book for her. She just got her sample copy in the mail. So I'm really working with people to really bring their dreams to life. So many people reach out to me and say, wow, I've always wanted to write a book, I've always wanted to be a children's book author, and I really want to continue to help and motivate people. But because of the response that I've gotten, I really have to, and because of my busy schedule, now you have to just book a paid consultation with me, and I will sit down one-on-one, whether that be via a phone call or via Zoom or Skype or whatever you prefer. That is the only way that I will be able to fully give you my individualized help, my one-to-one answers to every question that you may have. Please, you know, watch my YouTube videos, because I do answer a lot of things in the videos, but I think the biggest thing that I noticed is that people want like specific answers or specific step-by-step, and that's what I will provide in the consultation. Now, I will also be releasing an ebook that will help you with self-publishing, marketing, all of those things. I have a very thick, well, it's an ebook. I have a very long ebook that I'm releasing very soon. So if the consultation is not in your budget, then I would definitely recommend purchasing the ebook, which will be released very soon on thatsojaya.com. I will also be doing seminars. So the seminars will probably start happening in 2021 in January, where I will be doing like groups, and we will be going, I will do 2 different ones. One will be for people that need help with creating their book, coming up with a story, and then the other one will be for people that pretty much already have their book and they need help for more so what I'm going to talk about now. So let's get right into the video, and we're going to talk about how you guys can sell and promote. Started selling. So when I first started selling my books back in 2018, I did not think of it like a business. I did not have a marketing plan, a strategy. I was literally just posting on Instagram, and family and friends would just buy. Like, I was not doing anything strategic. I was literally just posting and getting sales, which pretty much happens to everyone when you first release something. Nobody knew that I wrote a children's book. I was not broadcasting it. I didn't do any pre-sales. I literally did nothing but one day just post a picture. It did really good, and people just kept sharing it and reposting it, and that was kind of how I started selling my book. Now, that was in October. Come January, I started getting really heavy in the vendor scene. And when I say vendors, I was selling my books at every pop-up shop, flea market, going on Eventbrite. And I will definitely say, if you are new and you are just now publishing a book and you don't really know social media that well, vendor events, flea markets are amazing. I know that with COVID, that was kind of on pause. Like, a lot of people weren't having stuff for a while, but now people are having stuff, because I've sold my book a couple times now since COVID, but everything has mainly been outdoors. But when you first start out, just setting up that table, putting your book out and just talking to everyone, that is really great ways to sell any product. I'd highly recommend that when you're first starting out, to do vendor events. And vendor events can be all type of stuff. It can be your local flea market. It can also be if you want to go big and go all out and sell at Essence Festival. We all know Essence Festival tracks, you know, 30,000-40,000 people in New Orleans every year. There's so many big festivals like that. I know in New York City they have a lot of street festivals where there's lots of vendors and food trucks. So those type of events, you have guaranteed foot traffic, and there's also a method to how you can really walk away and sell thousands of dollars, which is something that I will be covering in my seminar. But definitely doing those events are a really awesome way to promote, even if you're not selling heavy and you're just passing out business cards, or, you know, getting followers or promoting it. You never know who you can run into. All right, so the next thing that I will say when it comes to selling my book is doing book tours. So I know it seems like, wow, how do you get a book tour? I am not gonna lie, you guys, I'm like my own PR person. Like, I literally did my own book tour, reaching out to schools, reaching out to principals, reaching out to daycares, reaching out to summer camps, anything. And this is more so geared towards people that are selling children's books. Now, you can have a book tour if no matter what type of book. I mean, Michelle Obama made a whole Netflix series about her book tour. Like, I know we're not on that status, but it's just the concept of my method is specifically, I know how to do it for when it comes to book tours in the school system. So, and I will be honest, I'm not, you know, I can't help everyone, but I just know my specialty is in children's books. So definitely getting in those schools, because the thing with schools, I've sold so many books to schools. Schools will sometimes do bulk orders. Principals will want to buy some. I had a principal, she bought a lot of books for like a lot of the like first and second grade classrooms. I had schools that wanted to put my book in their school library, so I did that. I sold my book to a children's church, where the woman over the children's church literally brought 30 copies for Christmas for all the kids in the children's church. So when you are doing those tours, and you're specifically, like I said, for someone that's selling a kid's book, when you're getting those connections with the schools, with churches, with summer camps, those are amazing sales, you know, and giving the kids something to take home to say, hey, mom and dad, this author came to my school and she was amazing. Now, I know with COVID, a lot of people are not, a lot of schools aren't just letting anybody come in the school. So like I said, I did this back in 2019, but in 2020 I did also do a book tour, and it was a virtual book tour. So I actually did book tours where I was reading through Zoom to kids, through different Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom. So definitely reaching out to teachers and principals, and that'll be very helpful. If you want more details on exactly what to say to them and how to get into those schools, stay tuned. Like I said, I got something for y'all that's gonna go in depth. All right, so the next thing that I will say is to how I've sold so many books without Amazon is I have used social media. And when I say social media, I mean every single social media that there is. Like, I have sold books literally from Twitter, from YouTube, from Instagram, from Facebook. I have all platforms, and I can literally say, and even when I pull up my website, it'll show sites like where your customers are coming from and where you're getting your sales from. And honestly, of course, majority of my sales I feel like come from Facebook, which I'll go into that next. But even from you guys, I've got so many subscribers, you know, that are just so sweet, and they'll say, oh my god, I love your videos, I love your book, and next thing you know, they've bought my book, and I'm just like, wow. And then like same with Twitter, I'll be that person on my Twitter and say like, oh, you guys should repost a children's book up there. And I've literally had Like people just retweet it, they see it, and then they buy. So really just posting, and it's just good to have your platform just spread out everywhere. And then of course through Instagram, there's really a marketing strategy through social media on Instagram. And like I said in the beginning, it wasn't until the beginning of the pandemic that I literally learned how to like work Instagram as far as to make money for selling your product. And there's so many people that do this for a living, where they literally help people brand and market themselves. And I just kept doing my research, and now I'm literally like, wow, I could post something and it might only get 20 or 30 likes, but 1 or 2 people might buy. And I think that's also the misconception that a lot of people have with social media, is they think like, if I don't have this huge following, no one's gonna buy. But that is not true. And I've really am a witness to that myself. On the Jada and Jaden series page has probably like about 2,000 followers, but I've made so many customers from just those 2,000 people that follow me. So that's definitely something. I will definitely go into that in my like marketing class, where I will show you guys like what kind of pictures to post, reaching out to influencers. I have a lot of kid influencers that help me promote my books, giving out discount codes. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I kind of ran my books like a Instagram business. And I think a lot of people, they think of like Fashion Nova, who's like this social media powerhouse, right? And that I liked their method of how they've just attracted so many followers, how they have this big social media presence. And that was kind of who I was, you know, kind of mimicking in a sense. And it definitely has helped. So I will say that much. Okay, the next thing I would say, kind of going into social media, but I guess this one is kind of social media. Y'all can tell me if this is social media or not. But another way that I sold my books is through podcasts. I've been a part of so many podcasts this year. I can honestly say I've been on like 10 different podcasts of just speech pathology ones. I had these 2 guys, they reached out to me on Twitter, and I was on their podcast, and they bought my books, and then like some of their listeners bought my books. So podcasts have been so helpful. I actually collaborated with a girl that has a speech pathology podcast, and we did a giveaway. So yeah, and collaborations to me is kind of goes within that social media marketing, but podcasts are really awesome. All of the podcasts I've been on have been through people reaching out to me and asking me to be on their podcast. But definitely don't be afraid to ask people. I don't know if you could, I mean, people are always looking for guests and things like that. I've also been on being a guest on other people's Facebook lives or podcasts or their like YouTube shows or things like that. It's just always very beneficial. But yes, podcasts have been very amazing selling technique for me. All right, so is this my last one? I'm gonna make this my last one so this video isn't too crazy long. But my last step, this one goes in with the social media, but this one is more, all of the things that I've told you guys have been like free things that you don't have to put out money, like getting a book tour or anything. I mean, of course, like you're gonna have to pay for like you going there and things like that, but as far as like upfront money, the vendors, that one you have to pay for. Some events will be free, some will have different price range, but like I said, I'm gonna go into extreme detail with that one. All right, so my last one that I feel has really benefited me, this is definitely my biggest one, is Facebook ads. I know you guys see a lot of, anybody that has social media, even right now, you watching this YouTube, you're gonna see ads, you're gonna see commercials. That, when I tell y'all that people talk about Facebook ads and then they say like it's really changed their worlds, it really changed my world. I literally was, the beginning of the pandemic, I lost my job as a speech pathologist because I was as a speech pathologist assistant, because I was contracted in the schools, and I was like, you know what, I want to focus on Jada and Jaden. And I had tried Facebook, and I was doing like promoting my things on Facebook, and I was like not getting any sales. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna study, and I'm gonna figure out how to do this. And I did, and it has just been a different world ever since. Like, y'all, I'm gonna show you the power of Facebook ads, okay? But honestly, like, paying for ads is very helpful. There's also a very specific strategy to that, because just like anything, when you have to make money, you have to spend money to make money. But with Facebook ads, there is a way that you can be putting all this money into ads and losing money. So, and I've been there, and I've also put in money and I've made a lot of money. So, and there's like just certain pictures, certain videos, and there really is a strategy. Now, there are people that I follow that actually charge people, and they will literally do your advertisements, run your ads, help you take good pictures. They will literally do your business for you, and they are not cheap, but it might be worth the investment because they've literally helped people make thousands and thousands of dollars. So you're definitely gonna make your money back. Or there are some people that do like free Facebook ad classes. There are people that do like little live seminars, kind of like what I'm doing. So I'm definitely going to include a little step-by-step on how to post a Facebook ad in my marketing and promo seminars that I'm gonna be doing soon. But paying for advertisement on social media is very beneficial. It does work, but it is something that you need to make sure that you are learning how to do it step by step, and it's a skill. I would definitely say social media is a skill, and I think that's how I've sold lots of books. Y'all probably gonna say I talk so much or so fast, but that was a tongue tie. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this video here, but I just want to say that to all of my like aspiring authors, like, go for it. So many people reach out to me and say, oh, I've had this book on my computer for years and I've just never published it. Or a guy actually emailed me and showed me like 30 books that he had written and published, but he was like, I just don't know how to sell them. Like, they're just here and I don't know what to do. And I really want to help people. I feel as though I had my brother who really introduced me to the self-publishing process, and then from there I've just been doing like everyone else. Like, I went on YouTube, I went on, you know, Pinterest. I watched different people talk about marketing and promos and how to, like, you know, do everything with your books. And I feel like, you know, just reaching out and asking for help is so beneficial. Like, do not be afraid to spend a little money to invest in yourself. I've lost so much money, and I feel like that money that I lost, I could have put towards learning a skill or doing something else. So that is definitely something. And then also, I feel like a good way to market your books is when you start to branch out into other things. Like, as you guys know, I have the Jada and Jaden app based off of my books. So that is also something that when people type in Jada and Jaden, they might see me, they'll see me on the App Store, they'll see me on Google. So I definitely feel as though putting, you know, there's just so much potential. And I actually have something really big coming out with Jada and Jaden. If y'all thought the app was like, wow, y'all don't even want to know what I got next. It's coming. It's coming. 2021, it's gonna be some big news dropping. We just gonna say that. Like, the books is just the beginning. That's what I'm gonna say. But it's definitely the main attraction. But there's so many other things that I want to do with the books in general.